Hey everyone, it's Josh here from Easy Crypto, and I just wanted to film this final installment of Scam Watch. So this is episode number 5, and this is all about crypto fake websites. So we're gonna give you a little overview in this video of how to avoid being scammed on fake crypto websites. Ultimately, there's a million different things out there. As the previous episodes have said, there's loads of people, unfortunately, trying to take your money and do malicious things. So this video is just going to be a quick overview of the fake websites that are out there, what type of tricks and horrible things they're trying to do to take advantage of you and your money. They fall into a few different categories, which we'll briefly address today, but really the purpose of this is to try and help you avoid getting stung in the market, as of course in the middle of 2020 now the market is moving really nicely forward, and ultimately what we want to be able to do is ensure that as the market grows, unfortunately there is more incentive for scammers to earn larger amounts of money as the price of the coins increase. So there's a lot more attention now on people to look after themselves a little bit more so and be more aware that people are going to be coming after some of their funds. So this is episode number 5, as we've said. We've already covered some other things, so to now in the other episodes, so we'll be able to link the other episodes below. There's 5 episodes of a similar nature to this that cover different areas of the crypto scams that we've come across. So that includes number 1, which was scam emails, number 2, which is YouTube scams, number 3, which is Twitter scams, number 4, it's fake cryptocurrency apps, and then here is 5 is fake websites. So again, the links will be below, so if you think this type of content is going to help you, if you could give us a little like down over here somewhere, that would be really helpful, as YouTube loves things when things get liked and it helps the message get out a little bit more so, and maybe we can together help some other people be saved from this type of unfortunate occurrence. So let's move into fake websites and what they are doing and how those work. So in a nutshell, there are a few different ways in which fake websites end up playing out in the crypto space. So a lot of them generally end up impersonating real legitimate websites. So it could be as simple as having a different URL name, and then they design the website to look very, very similar, if not identical to the website they're trying to impersonate. And ultimately, then they try to get you to put in your details, very similar to some of the actions that we mentioned in the previous video for crypto apps. They impersonate something that looks real with fake details, and then they extract those details and take advantage of you. So a really easy way to mitigate those is always make sure you double, triple, quadruple check the URL name that you're on. I know places like Binance even have a little pop-up notification that says please make sure you're on this correct URL before you proceed, because a single letter difference in there, you could actually be on a mirrored website which isn't legitimate at all, and you could enter your password and login details, and then boom, someone uses those in your real account, and you've got a bit of trouble on your hands. So always make sure the URLs are correct for those types of websites that are impersonating people, would be the first thing. There are other types of fake websites too, where obviously on the back of the crazy ICO craze in 2017, where many companies were raising lots of capital in the crypto space, we had a whole myriad of people setting up fake coins, fake companies, fake websites in order to kind of extract investment from people that were hoping to ride the next, super moon coin. And unfortunately, some of those still exist today, even though the market's cooled down quite a lot in that respect. So we've seen a resurgence of this with some new, the big attention in decentralized finance. Of course, that in itself is a wonderful thing, offers many advantages, but with all these new kind of big inflows of money into the market, what we find is, of course, people then try to go into that area to make fake and malicious companies or coins or activities, which don't end up working out too well. So you have kind of the fake ICOs, the impersonation websites. Then of course you have fake support websites where, we've heard of instances where something like a Ledger Nano S, Ledger is a brilliant company that offers a great service, really great things to do there with hardware wallets, but people have ended up impersonating those services through fake support sites where they ask you to give you your seed keys and your passphrases, and then ultimately, without you realizing, you've given away all the keys to your crypto, and then someone can run away with it quite easily. And again, all of this is done through maltrust, where they take advantage of the trust that those companies have spent a lot of money, time and effort building, and they just end up kind of throwing that in people's faces, and then people are left holding no money after a scam has happened, and it can be a really horrible experience. So fake support is another thing as well. So it's always worth looking on the parent company, or the original company rather, check on their website, see what support they offer. Again, making sure the URLs are correct, making sure you're following the right links to these websites. If you check on their support pages, on their help pages, they may not be as helpful as you think. Some of the big companies don't have the world's greatest support, unfortunately, but what they will almost certainly have is a procedure of how they will help you. So it's very often that they will say, you know, we will never ask for this, we will never ask for that, we will never ask for something else as part of our support process. So, you know, if anyone purporting to be from that company asks for those things, then that's a red flag immediately. A little bit like with your online banking. You know, they never ask for your PIN number over the phone and all that type of stuff. The same rules apply here as well. So in order to kind of put a little bit of this together for you as a start point, what we've done is we've actually come across this website, which again, we have no affiliation with Crypto Chain University. We you know, I've only come across them really in the research of this video, so I can't give you too much of a authority on who these guys are or what exactly that they're doing. But ultimately, what they have done, which is really good, is they've compiled from bitcointalk.org. And for those of you that don't know what bitcointalk.org is, it's kind of the original Bitcoin forum, which is probably the oldest and most important cryptocurrency forum that there is. You can find advice and topics on just about everything in the crypto world from there, from mining and investing and trading and the new coins being announced. And it's a, you know, it's a quite high level. It can get a little bit geeky, but it really is the origin, virgin source of all material. So what's happened here is this website has been put together with a list of fake and scamming websites in the crypto space as reported by users of bitcointalk.org. So this is an amalgamation of what people said. So again, we haven't independently verified all of these websites here are fake websites. There may be some legitimate websites in here. However, it's worth noting that many people have suggested that's not the case. So all of these here is a list and then the type of activity that they're doing, you know, so a fake ICO, stealing people's identities, so on and so forth. All of these are in alphabetical order as to kind of websites to avoid. So a lot of these are quite small things, some of them are bigger, but we just thought this would be a nice thing for you to kind of have as a starting resource, at least to see, at least to cross-check if there's a website out there that you're a bit nervous of. This might be a good place to be able to cross-check that, to be able to assess whether other people have had some concerns about it too. So again, in general rules of advice in coming to fake websites, how do I know if a website is real or not? There's a lot of really obvious things that you can do. So, you know, making sure you're on the right URL, making sure all the right legal requirements are there, such as, you know, if it's a UK website, you need to have their registered trading name. Do they have their company number? Can you check them out on Companies House? All these types of things are really important. And then again, to make sure that if you are trying to contact support or you need any help from that company, again, see what their procedures are online, so you're not end up having to get roped into giving out some details that you didn't think were necessary, and ultimately trying to avoid any of these websites which promise incredible returns or promise this next coin to be this. A lot of the, you know, very successful projects over the crypto space in the many years that we've been involved are the ones which have a really solid white paper, a really solid development team behind them, and ultimately the proofs in the pudding as they continue to develop and move that product forward. There aren't really that many coins that have been successful that have just raised a boatload of cash with nothing behind them. A lot of the times that when coins do that through these ICOs, they kind of fail very quickly because they have too much money and not enough resources, and things don't end up working out that great. So ultimately, you know, fake websites is a very wide topic. It covers hundreds of different things. There are fake websites for everything. Of course, this isn't just for crypto. All the rules here are pretty good rules for stopping getting involved in many different things as well, because people unfortunately trying to scam many people in many different ways. But just to look out for those things, the top tips really is ensuring that the URL name is correct and not something that we're going to end up discussing in any more detail, because past this point that's really all you need to do. Just make sure the URL name is correct, make sure that you can contact that website. Do they have a legitimate phone number that you might be able to call and speak with someone? Is there any other people that have said anything about that? If something looks too good to be true, then it most likely may well be. But again, just be sure that you're using the correct sites at the right time. Make sure everything is spelt correctly. That's another really big one in the space. One letter difference can really see you in a bit of a bit of a trouble state. Again, make sure you have the little security lock on the browser icon at the top as well, to make sure it's a secure HTTPS website as well, so your information isn't going to be leaving that site, which is another thing people don't often realize as well. So there are some basic tips that you can follow, but unfortunately these frauds and scams do get more complicated and more advanced over time, and no matter what you try to do, in some instances there's always a scam that's going to be ahead of the curve. So I don't mean to sound, you know, like this is a kind of losing battle. That's certainly not the case. If you get your coins in a legitimate place and keep them in a legitimate manner and don't get involved in too many things, you're probably going to be just fine. But it's always good to tread with caution whenever you're using new websites and new organizations in the crypto space. So again, a good rule of thumb in that respect would be, you know, if a new crypto exchange comes out that you really like, or if a new company comes out that's offering some really nice interest returns, it would be a good practice, you know, never to send all your coins in one transaction. All the kind of basic stuff in crypto that applies to everything, you know, make sure you send a small payment before you send a large one. Make sure you're able to track those funds on the blockchain the way that you're meant to. All of these practices are very, very important things, which we want to be able to help communicate with people. So if people have any questions about the practicalities of how that's done, these are more informative based videos to kind of get the word out there. If people would like some more kind of practical walkthroughs on, okay, well, what does that look like? What does that feel like? What's the difference in visuals between this website and that site? Please just let me know in the comments below, and we can make sure we can get all of that information put to you. Across obviously all the other episodes that we've got a Scam Watch. It's really information based to help you realize what's out there, and hopefully give you some top tips to help avoid being scammed in the future. So we hope you've enjoyed this little mini series. This has been episode number 5. If you want to skip back to some of the other episodes to see what's going on there, that'll be great. We'd love some suggestions from you guys as to what other videos you'd like us to make information on. So maybe there's a certain exchange in the space, or a certain coin that you really want to know more information about, or a certain practice, or something in the crypto ecosystem that you've got many questions about. We'd love to help answer. So feel free to leave your questions below for our next kind of mini series that we'll put out there, and we love to kind of hear from you. So if you could give this video a like and a share, that would be really great. We'd very much appreciate that, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. Take care.